In the headlines, Lagos State government shuts down Christian schools indefinitely amid rape allegation. Troops of the multinational Joint Task Force eliminate no fewer than 100 Boko Haram and Islamic State of West Africa province terrorists. Muslim women in Edo speak against the menace of domestic violence. And away from Nigeria, UN says more than 4.9 million Ukrainians have fled their country following Russian invasion. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. To the details now. The Lagos State government has shut down Christian schools indefinitely amid allegation of rape. A 10-year-old pupil of the school was said to have been raped by her schoolmates during a trip to Dubai. The incident sparked outrage on social media, with many calling on government to act. In a statement on Monday, the State Ministry of Education said investigation into the matter was ongoing. The state government disclosed that the allegations of sexual violence involving students at Christian school are being investigated by the relevant ministries, departments and agencies, including the Ministry of Education, Office of Education Quality Assurance, Ministry of Youth and Social Development, Ministry of Justice and the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency. The statement jointly signed by the MDAs revealed that the criminal allegations had been escalated to the Commissioner of Police. Troops of the multinational Joint Task Force have eliminated no fewer than 100 Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists, including 10 key commanders in the Lake Chad region. Chief of Military Public Information for Multinational Joint Task Force, Colonel Mohammed Dole, in a statement on Sunday, said that the forces successfully hit the enclaves in well-coordinated land and air offensives. Dole said that the offensives were conducted under Operation Lake Sanity, joint operations involving the multinational Joint Task Force troops from Nigeria, Niger, Cameroon, and troops from Operation Haninkai. Dole said that the troops raided the insurgents' dens in Zanari, Arena Woje, which served as a major fabrication workshops, and several other locations around the islands from different corridors in the last 1 week. According to him, the terrorists were neutralized following intelligence-driven lethal airstrikes in the Lake Chad Islands by the Combined Air Task Forces. Nigerians have been urged to unite against discrimination, fighting and other ills to end the current security and economic challenges in the country. Bishop of the Anglican Diocese of Gusau, Bishop John Lambinta, made the call during the celebration of Easter Sunday in Gusau, the Zamfara state capital. The report.
To accept the gospel. The gospel is the power of God. The gospel is the salvation.
Nigeria is currently facing a myriad of security and economic challenges that have become issues of concern to meaningful Nigerians. The insecurity is caused by banditry, kidnapping, killings, attacks of communities, and Boko Haram terrorists unleashing terror on innocent citizens in many parts of the country. Bishop of the Anglican Diocese of Gusau, Bishop John Lambinta, believed that if Christians and Muslims come together to confront insecurity, the outcome will be better and more effective than any weapon. He emphasized the need for leaders and the need to stop expecting solutions from foreigners for Nigerians' problem, as according to him, Nigerians' issues have Nigerian solutions.
The fact that Jesus Christ has risen. Christianity, if Jesus was not raised from the dead, Christianity could have been a collapsed religion. Because there were many things people were saying when Jesus was in the world. When Jesus said, when the scripture says that Jesus was going to be crucified, died, and after 3 days, raised to life.
He challenged Nigerians to accept their diversity and differences the way God made it and urged them to practice the teaching of their religion in a manner that accommodates others. The cleric observed that if Nigerians are not willing to unify to fight their battles, they should forget it.
The time has come for us to unite, to be one, because we should not expect anybody to come from any other country to come and bring peace and bring unity in our country. We are the problem of ourselves because we don't know God. And when you go to everywhere, you see Christians, you see Muslims. In the government, you see Christians, you see Muslims. I don't know what they are doing. I don't know the kind of religion they believe. I don't know the kind of religion they practice. The two religions are the religion of peace.
Bishop John Mbinta said the significance of Easter celebration to Christians is that Jesus Christ resurrected to give mankind hope, joy, and peace, noting that if people accept and believe in him, they can overcome whatever challenges they are facing.
Security and intelligence experts have been reacting to complaints from subnational governments that Nigeria's federal structure is dominated by the central government, particularly in the operation of the nation's security architecture. Trust TV's Shafiu Suleiman looks at divergent opinions on the issue in the face of escalating insecurity in the country. The report.
The blame game is real. State governors are constantly blaming the centralized structure of security for the erosion of law and order in their domains. Sani Aliu is a security and intelligence expert. He identifies an existing gap in Nigeria's current security architecture. This gap, he says, plays a significant role in the current effort to deal with contemporary security challenges.
We are having terrorism, act of banditry, and the Army's purview, as contained in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is to protect the territorial integrity of Nigeria. And the police purview, as contained in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is to maintain internal peace and order. There is no one single agency in Nigeria that is charged with the responsibility of countering terrorism.
Jibrin Ndache, a defense editor with one of Nigeria's national dailies, is of the opinion that defeating the non-state actors terrorizing the country requires a collaborative effort.
Americans don't lament. Developed country and other country, when these things happen, there's no blame game. They approach the situation and then they bring everybody on board. Like he said, that led to the establishment of the Homeland Security. But above all, they were thinking differently. They are think tanks, you know, who say, okay, who are thinking of the threats in the next 20 years.
To effectively tackle the multifaceted security challenges undermining the nation, Sani Aliu suggests a review of the existing security structure by empowering and equipping civil authorities and other internal security outfits to handle emerging threats.
We have a country of over 200 million people sitting on 923 square kilometers with less than 1 million security population. This is sad. Absolutely, we are not serious, and we are not ready to fight this insecurity that is in the country.
Ndache is, however, of the view that with adequate intelligence information, enhanced welfare of fighting forces, and strong political will, Nigeria will overcome the current situation plaguing the nation. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, rural-urban drift is presently at its highest rate in Nigeria as a result of several economic factors compounded by the security challenges bedeviling the country. Hamisu and Pete moved to Abuja in search of a better life for themselves and their families. But the journey has not been the same for them. While one aspires to be present, the other is content with the menial jobs to make ends meet. Here is more.
This is Utako Village, a rural community in the heart of Abuja. Due to disparity in development, people who usually live in congested slums as this lack proper hygiene, live in overcrowded spaces, and are victims to illiteracy, unemployment, and the vagaries of crime. Despite these challenges, It is not unusual to find dreamers in places like this. The security situation in Katsina State forced Hamisu to move to Abuja in search of a better life. He is a laundryman and sells water in jerrycans to fend for his daily needs.
I
moved to Abuja to earn a living. In my village, bandits used to attack us and destroy our houses almost every day. There was no peace of mind. We were all living in fear and agony. We could hardly sleep in our houses because of the attacks. We couldn't farm anymore, even though farming was our only hope to feed ourselves. We were really suffering. That's why we decided to change location and move over here to earn a living.
Just like others, he pays 50,000 naira per year for this small room just to keep a roof over his head. He hopes to keep making money from his humble business to take care of his family.
Moving here, I have peace of mind. I have a place where I can rest my head. Even though there are still some people that sleep on the streets here, I struggle to earn money and send to my family and also rent a shop where I run my business now.
On the other hand, Pitt migrated from the West in search for political connections and to fulfill his dream as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I have a dream about the future of this country, to vie for the position of the president of this country. And because what I see thus far is that the way this country, we can lift this country out of insecurity, out of economy destabilization, and a lot of problems is just the youth, not with this our old faces, not with these old people, the same faces we ever know. So I see myself coming in to make a good difference, make a huge difference in Nigeria in terms of leadership and in terms of politics in this generation.
Muslims in Edo State over the weekend converged at the Benin Central Mosque for the Ramadan lecture put together by the state chapter of the Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Nigeria. Trust TV correspondent in Benin City, Nafisa Bello, reports that the menace of domestic violence and possible solutions is stressed.
The Ramadan lecture, which held at the Central Mosque, Benin City, the Edo State capital, had in attendance Muslims from all walks of life who took time out to reap from the blessings of the holy month. As the resource person spoke extensively on reconciliation in Islam and dealing with a declining marriage and ways of increasing happiness in marriages.
We have cases whereby the women torment their husbands, that the husband will not love to come home because of the problem the wife gives to him. He would rather stay away. Why you see some men, they go to beer parlor, they stay till 11 before they come home, is because if they come home, the problem the woman will heap on his head, it will be too much for him to bear. So he would rather go somewhere and relax.
It's our nature to disagree sometimes. We belong to different tribes, we have different nature, so we must disagree sometimes. But as Muslims, in Islam, you must reconcile. In fact, Prophet said, make it not pass 3 days. No matter how the thing pay you, make it not pass 3 days.
On why the choice of topics, the Edo State Amira of the Federation of Muslim Women's Association in Nigeria, FOBWON, Hajia Rabi Abiri and Hajia Umeima Momo said the topics were selected based on the increase in cases of domestic violence in the society, adding that it is high time women speak up and speak out.
The topics were sent from the national, that we should pick the one we know that is more crucial in our area. That is the area, our circumstances, the way they are behaving in our area, and what is happening in our area. So each state should choose the one that that will go well with the community and what is happening in the country.
Religion teaches us to obey, to be reserved. And so even when they are going through so much, they keep quiet. But we are saying today that keeping quiet might not be the solution. You might be going through so much violence in your home. The husband beating you, abusing you, both whether physically, verbally, emotionally, and then you keep quiet. A time will come, if it does not affect your mental well-being, then of course it could just kill you. The case of Otinachi is there for everybody to hear. Nobody knew she was going through that until she died. So we are urging women, if no matter what you are going through in your husband's home, if any form of abuse, speak out.
The Ramadan lecture is an annual event put together by the Edo State chapter of the Federation of Muslim Women's Associations in Nigeria, Form 1. Nafisa Bello, Trust TV News, Benin.
You're watching Trust News Update, coming up after the break. Electric cars make brisk business in Maiduguri. Details and more after the break. Welcome back. Here is a look at the top stories again. The Lagos State government has shut down Christian schools indefinitely amid allegation of rape. Troops of multinational joint task force eliminate no fewer than 100 Boko Haram and Islamic State of West African province terrorists. And now on to political stories. Senator Kabiru Marafa on Sunday denied the dumping of the All Progressives Congress for the People's Democratic Party. He stated this while debunking reports that he and a former governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, have finally defected to the PDP. Marafa noted that they are into negotiations with many political parties that have invited them to join in the state. He stressed that considering the injustice meted out to the people of Zamfara State by the former APC national leadership, several parties approached the former governor's faction. Over 463 houses in 3 local government areas in Cross River State have been destroyed by a windstorm, and out of the 1,326 households was affected by the effects of the windstorm. According to reports, the affected local government areas are Obudu, Yala, and Ogoja. Zonal Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, South-South, Godwin Tepiko, said his team conducted assessment tour following a Save Our Soul report from the chairman of Obudu Council Area, Boniface Irae, after the windstorm incident on April 12, 2022. In Obudu local government area, the team visited the affected communities of Bebone, Ambonke, and Bebuabong, Igwo, and Ikworutung. Tepiko said that the windstorm that occurred in Ogoja local government area on the April 5, 2022 affected Ishibori, Ukele, Ogboje, and Agbakpa communities. According to him, 337 households were affected by the disaster, while several houses and property were destroyed, including economic trees. Now, besides emitting less dangerous gas to the environment, electric cars also come with reduced costs of transportation. While the country struggles with scarcity and increment in fuel prices, which has impacted on transport fares, residents of Maiduguri, the capital of Borno, are enjoying electric car transportation. An electric car fabricator is making brisk business from his local talent, even as residents cash in on his reduced fares. The report.
Public transportation is one of the key sectors driving the economy of a country. It increases economic productivity and growth. The fuel scarcity and the continuous upward review of the pump price have hiked transport fares and affected commercial activities. However, the production of electric vehicles fabricated by a school dropout in the state, besides making BRICS profit, is also making commuting easier for residents, as they can now do so at a much lower price.
It has a capacity of 64 kilowatts and it can charge 5 cars at a time within a space of 30 to 35 minutes, depending on the intensity of the sunlight. The challenge is that, we have built only one charging station here. So when we charge the car moves from point A to B. So when the charge is exhausted, the car must come to point A to charge. We need support from government, we need support from philanthropists, we need support from investors to increase our capacity to do more.
Mohammed Lawan is one of the commercial drivers of the E-Ride Transportation Company in Maiduguri. He says he enjoys his job without experiencing the usual long queues at fuel dispensing stations. The buses collect 50 naira per drop instead of the 100 naira charged by regular public transport operators.
I'm expecting that when we have this particular scarcity a lot in the state, so much jobless can reduce. I can make a 5,000, 6,000 per day because of the passengers are patronizing the car so much. Why people are using other vehicles that are using petroleums, the place that they used to take them for like 17 naira, we used to take them 15 naira. And again, some places that we used to take them 13 naira.
Actually, these electric vehicles are, I can say that it is development to our society because they are not like the other fossil fuel vehicles. This is, the cost of their transportation is cheaper than the normal vehicle in town.
Like if I'm to board for KK now from here to Kasua, it's almost like 70 naira to 100 naira. But for these buses, I have to pay for just 50 naira. That will take me to the same destination. I'm calling on to federal government to please put more effort in such kind of businesses that are coming up because this is going to help our economic growth.
With the unstable price of fuel in the country, electric vehicles could be an option for Nigeria to end the recurring fuel crisis that is affecting the economy.
Young graduates in Katsina are involved in the business of selling ice block as a way of creating jobs and generating wealth. Ice block has a huge market during the Ramadan fast because of during the Ramadan fast because of the increased demand. Jamil Mabai takes a look at how a young graduate from Umaru Musa Yaradua started a successful business of selling ice block in Katsina amidst challenges of power supply and diesel price.
Ice block, a scarce commodity in Katsina. In fact, its demand has increased during Ramadan fasting. Muhammad Rabiu, a university graduate, had a dream of owning a business. Today, he ran a business of ice block with workers under his payroll.
Wannan sana'a da farko dai ya kamata mutum ya samu wuri wanda zai aje.
You first need a space to keep your cold rooms with enough ventilation.
To in ka gama da wannan kuma za ka samu mai ruwa wannan.
After that, you need such a water supplier that will be supplying the water for you than to go looking for where to buy.
To amma in kana da standard wanda da ya dauko zai kawo ma to insha Allah ko da yaushe za ka samu.
With the temperature rise to about 44 degrees, the demand for ice block and cold water has increased drastically. Muhammad saw the demand and capitalized on the opportunity. Because of the hardship in looking for water ice block and to see how we can enhance the business to make it easier for customers. With a booming business comes challenges of epileptic power supply. We started selling the water at 20 naira to 30 to 40 naira. This is because of the diesel we buy, maintenance of generator. Sometimes at the end of the day, we realized we hardly make profit. We kept increasing the price till it reaches 50 naira. We don't use electricity power supply at all. The voltage supply is low and we won't make any profit. He buys 50 liters of diesel at $86 daily, and $2,500 is budgeted for diesel monthly. Most businesses would have thrived with steady power supply in Nigeria, with large chunk of the money spent on diesel and maintenance. With power supply, profit will increase and customers' demand will be met. Jamil Mobai, Trust TV News, Katsina.
The Advertiser Practitioners Council of Nigeria has vowed to sanction Sterling Bank PLC over a controversial advert which compared the resurrection of Jesus Christ to agege bread in commemoration of the Easter celebration. The bank had published an advert that said, "Like agege bread, he rose," quote and unquote. The post was shared on the bank's pages across all social media platforms. The development generated a lot of angry reactions on social media, particularly from adherents of the Christian faith. Many people who reacted in the social media demanded that the post be pulled down, describing it as insensitive. They also asked the bank to tender an apology. The bank complied by pulling down the post and tendering an apology. The Abuja Environmental Protection Board says it may lock down some government offices, hotels, plazas, and other business premises due to debts owed the board. The director of AEPB, Osilama Brima, made the disclosure in a statement on Monday in Abuja. Brima explained that the measure was coming on the heels of the task team operations. Now, he said that the task team had been mandated to apply all legal means to recover the money from debtors. The director explained that the debts accrued over time due to the failure of those concerned to pay for services rendered to them by the AEPB. And away from Nigeria, more than 4.9 million Ukrainians have fled their country following the Russian invasion, the UN said Monday, as it warned of the risk of women and children, child refugees being exploited. UNHCR, the United Nations Refugee Agency, said that 4,934,415 Ukrainians had left the country since Russia invaded on February 24th, indicating an increase of up to 65,396 as of Sunday. The UN's International Organization for Migration says nearly 215,000 third country nationals, largely students and migrant workers, have also escaped to neighboring countries, meaning more than 5 million people in all have fled Ukraine since the war began. It is one of the fastest growing displacement and humanitarian crises ever, with women and children accounting for 90% of those who escaped. And that wraps up the Trust News Update. Connect with us via our social media platforms and also subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for watching.